Hi. Gosh, that looks really fuzzy. Didn't that happen once before? I wonder if it's because it's hitting that light. No, it's still a little fuzzy. Fuzzy's good though. Fuzzy takes away all the wrinkles. Let me see if I've got a big fingerprint on top of this thing. I think it's the light. Very weird. Okay. Let me just make an adjustment, everybody. You never know what it looks like until you turn it on. That is weird. I don't remember that happening before. But it took away the one no, yeah, it's got something to do with that. That's weird. Ah. Okay, I'll talk amongst yourselves while I make some adjustments. That might work. Well, it's definitely different. For all of you who have never seen a live stream from someone's house, you know, if you're in a studio and you've got a light, which I'm going to get, I really am. I just have had so many other priorities. I'm going to get a reliable clip-on light so that I can have consistent light. That is better. It's not awesome, but it's better. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, so that was interesting. You never know unless you have a clip-on light. You never know until you hit go live. They do not let you preview what it looks like. So, you know, you can kind of, if you do it at the same time every day, but even then, if you're relying on a natural light coming in the windows, the seasons change and all of that. So anyway, one of these days, maybe I'll have a studio. I'd like to build a studio in my shop over there, but that would cost a pretty penny. I'd have to ask for very large donations. Okay, anybody would like to know what I'm drinking tonight? I'm trying this Puka detox tea. It's a clean infusion of organic aniseed. I haven't heard it spelled that way. Fennel and cardamom. Thank you, Christina. Okay, so in the evening, I won't have that window behind me for whatever reason. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Hey, Emily is here. Charlie baby. Remind everybody where you are. Sharon, I just loved your comment. Sharon sent me this great comment. I don't have a lot of shout outs today, everybody. I sort of had my hands full. I'll explain. But and I didn't get any cards or gifts, so I have nothing to open. And if anyone sent me a donation, I missed it. But Sharon sent me this great comment, and she said that she's been watching me for years, and I know that. But for some reason, since I've been here in this place, her husband is now interested in watching with her. And he comes in and goes, "What's Kaye doing today? What's Kaye got on?" I think that was the quote. I love that. I hope, obviously I look pretty foolish to a guy who's really versatile with tools, but hey, I don't mind looking foolish if it gives somebody inspiration to try something, Ooh, super humid. You just wouldn't think you'd have to deal with that in February, huh? Huh, Jennifer? Michigan, that's right. Mary is here. I do too, Mary. I wish you could join me. Ooh. Well, Revital Aaron, I would absolutely be scouring the, Zillow and Realtor.com. And there's actually a bunch of sites. What is that site, Daryl? Hi, Daryl, by the way, I didn't say hi. There's a site where if you're just looking for land or farms, somebody help me out. What's the name of that one? But you can search that and find it pretty easily. And I absolutely highly recommend, if you want land, to be looking for it now. Sunny Camarillo. It's 72 degrees here. And that's why we have tornado watch. Did you all hear that? 60 of you have tuned in. We have I think I'm sort of on the edge, but the conditions are rife. What's the proper term there? Christina, you're the teacher. Ripe or rife for a tornado. Move to Tennessee, get snowbound for 8 days. Then we got 6 days of rain. Now tornado watch. Yay. This is so much fun. I used to have sympathy when my fans would write and say, yeah, they've got all this weather. And I'm thinking, not me. I'm in California. They say that about a lot of states, Rebecca. They say that about Illinois, I know. Cheryl Chapman is here from SoCal. My home for 32 years. Yeah. Anyway, Revital, to be a little bit more specific, you have to decide what it is you need to be able to do on your land. There's a lot of rock in Middle Tennessee. So you got to decide what it is. If you really want to have a farmland, you want to raise animals, you want to have crops, all that, there's a big farmer right down the street from me, but he's in the traditional industrial farming of soybeans, corn, and tobacco. But it depends on what your needs are. But it is available, and I would definitely be looking vigorously. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Okay, what do we got? Good. I'm glad I act silly. I've been in some sitcoms and stuff, and I really enjoy acting silly if I think that it's going to bring somebody a smile or a chuckle or brighten your day in some way. I'm happy to make myself look foolish for that purpose. So I will do that within reason. I am not going to climb up on the top of this house. The last roof I went up on was the studio, which was like a former garage at my friend Sharon's and Charles's house in Santa Monica. Remember when I went over? You know, they're this great gardening couple, husband and wife, dentist, hygienist. They always work together. Professionally and at home. They both loved gardening. And I went over and I did a video over there with them. One of the last videos that I did out there in California. And I got up on the roof of his and I said, okay, that's probably the last time. Wow, you've got peach and plum trees blooming just in Georgia? Well, you're in southern Georgia, I guess. No, I don't buy tobacco from anyone, JR. Anyway, he's a big time guy. His tractor trailers go back and forth, you know. Well, you can find that, Revital. Is that your name? That's not your name, is it? What is your name? And you're in New York. You can actually do that in New York. I don't know what the cost of land is up there. I expect it's more than it is down here, but I know my son Walker has beef producers in New York, Vermont. Where else? Yeah, he's got some pretty far north guys, and they've all got gardens and raising animals and stuff. Daffodil buds here turning yellow. I've got daffodil. I don't know if they're actually buds yet. I need to look today. I was out there a couple days ago and I didn't see buds, but soon. You know, Jay Cree, I asked my forester friend Guy about the trees, if I had value trees on this property. And he said, how did he put it? The other side of the hill has the value trees, the colder side, I guess, because that's south and that's west, that's east, that's south, that's north. So I guess the north face of this hill above me has the high value trees. I don't know. But he didn't expect I had very many. I know I have shagbark hickory and what's the one with a little hackberry? Shagbark hickory, hackberry. I think I have maybe a little bit of little walnuts, but not, significant. And I got a lot of small cedar trees, got some maples out front. And I've got a tree I want to take down, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let's see. Oh, Cheryl, what tactics are you using to rescue your baby Meyer lemon tree? There is some beautiful countryside in upstate New York. I don't know if you remember Barney. Oh gosh. Barney. I'm so bad with names. Barney was on, was he on Seinfeld? Did he play the father of Seinfeld? I believe so. Is that right? He was on one of those hit shows for a long time, and he played the father of the main guy, Barney. And he had a house in upstate New York, beautiful piece of property, pond, fields, old farmhouse. I've never felt so peaceful. Even including here, I don't think I've felt as peaceful as I did waking up in that upstairs farmhouse bedroom. Tony is here from Simplified Gardening. Tony has just done so extremely well with his channel. If you haven't checked out Tony in Wales, he has a new studio. He has all kinds of opportunities to bring an educational message to everybody who is looking for answers about gardening and other things as well. I guess you're doing now too, Tony. Anyway, it's good to see you, Tony. Tony was instrumental in me changing my name from the big long name that I started with over 8 years ago, 8.5 years ago. You see, if you're curious about that at all, I had a YouTube, because I'm an actor. I've been an actor, my whole professional life. I had a YouTube channel just under my name, Kaye Kittrell. And then when I started this gardening, there just weren't gardening channels at all in the very beginning of 2012. And so I don't think anybody that's really successful today on YouTube started that far back. But anyway, I did. And I just thought, well, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what it was really. And I just thought, well, I'm just going to tack my 20 episodes. I had planned for 20 episodes of Late Bloomer that first year, just like a TV show, and which is what I did. And I thought, well, the show is called Late Bloomer. That's got to be in there. My name's already there. Added Late Bloomer, and I wanted organic in there because I thought that had good SEO. And I was an urban gardener, so I thought, urban gardening was at the time just really getting very popular. And I wanted show in there. So it just turned out to be this big long name. And Tony was instrumental in getting me to change it, to just drop it down to Late Bloomer. So I hope you guys like that, and I hope it's going to help build the channel. Andrijana is here. And I wonder if you could cut the wind on it, Cheryl, just to give it a little break from the wind. That's just so hard on a young tree. Yes. Well, George Costanzo was Seinfeld's buddy, right? So, but who played Seinfeld's dad? Barney. Oh gosh, I can't believe I can't remember. We went to the same church. He had a lovely wife, and they invited me up. Let's see. When you grow a lemon tree from a store-bought lemon, Revital, I'm not sure what your name is, you're probably not going to get the same good tasting lemon. All of these citrus trees have been grafted. So you can grow a tree, but then you need to graft a branch of that onto rootstock of some other tree. I have a video on that if you look back in my playlist. Andrijani is from Serbia. I always forget that, but thank you for reminding us. Well, I think I just answered that, Andrijana. You can, and I did, but as this grafting expert that I interviewed and did an interview with, a video with, said it would never taste like the original. You have to graft it onto good rootstock. So check out that grafting video. Lots of people are doing grafting. I'm sure you can find all kinds of grafting videos. I'm going to be looking into that question of covering fruit trees. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I have a good spot for the hackberry for shade. I think I have a lot of them, Sharon. But I'm thinking I'm going to have to not only cover my trees from I'm gonna have to cover my trees from birds for sure, and deer, because they're gonna eat everything. So the deer fence, I ordered deer fencing and it's back ordered. I don't think I noticed that when I ordered it, or otherwise I probably wouldn't have. So I'm gonna have to check on that tomorrow and see when that's coming, because that's the first thing that has to happen. But I wanted to tell you the big news. Let me just get to the end here in case somebody's asking. Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Barney Martin, yes, of course. Elizabeth, I'm pretty sure his wife's name was Elizabeth. And I actually have a really cool picture of him. I did a portrait of him sitting at the kitchen table. And the minister that we had at the church we both went to they were great friends of his, and they were up there, and then I came up, and so I took a lot of pictures when I was up there. But thanks for looking that up, Rose and Emily. And I was right, it was Seinfeld's dad. Okay, good. Janie is here. Huh. You planted seeds in plastic gallon bags. Rebecca is talking about protecting the fruit with organza bags. Yes, I have those organza bags on my Amazon storefront if you're interested in getting some. They come in different sizes, so you got to make sure you estimate how large your fruit's going to get. Because the first time I ordered them, the first figs I ever got were like huge. They didn't fit. And then I learned very, very profoundly learned the last year I was in my garden, that something was sucking the juice out of the tomatoes even through the bag. So it's not 100% fail-proof, but it does help. Okay, let me just, 94 of you, I just want to take a moment to welcome you all. If you're new to my channel, I hope you'll subscribe, and I hope you find lots to enjoy. I've got at least, I don't even know, I've got over 700 videos that I've been doing since 2012. The first 5 years, I had a show format, and for the most part, they were between 4 and 10 minutes long. 2016 changed everything with the vlogging and all that, and I've done a lot of different kinds of formats since then. Sort of settled into this format, but I really want to change it. So if there are any graphic designers out there that know motion graphics, design, who, I want a very simple opening, but I'm not a motion graphics person, so I can't create that. But I need something like that to just, 5 seconds in the beginning to start every show, so that I don't have to recreate something with a title every single time. So that would be so awesome. Anybody, if there are any takers, look down below and leave a comment below. Okay, as for my garden, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, well, I knew that hackberry was, because we were talking about that, I think, with Daryl, or I was talking with someone, because you can make handles and things with it, I think. Like, don't you make handles for like tools and things? Anyway, so what happened this week is the water people were scheduled to come on Friday. That didn't happen. They're supposed to come this week. We'll see. With all this rain, it's so wet. I don't know where we stand with all of that. Meanwhile, I have one more video to present to you for the finishing up of the fireplace and the, remember the seals on the garage doors? My ill-fated attempt to install those. They got installed. That's coming up in the next video. But 2 days ago, I thought, okay, I cannot wait any longer to have some place to plant something. And, before you know it, I'm going to be planting sweet peas in the ground. And I need to know where that's going to be. And if I'm going to rework those beds, rebuild the sides, and redo all of that, I've got to get that done. So I put out, I think, 4 either calls or texts. And one of them was to Jeff Poppin. Now, how many of you know who Jeff Poppin is? I'm sure Rebecca does. I'm just looking here. I'm looking on my Tennessee home fruit vegetable garden calendar. Today is the, oh my gosh. Today's the 28th. Yesterday was the full moon. I wanted to plant on the full moon. Oh. And today the only instruction is for cane berries. Remove canes that fruited the previous season, then thin the rest. I'm assuming that that is old canes. And I do have some blackberry canes out there, so I should probably check that. But what I missed, I'm late at everything. Just call me late. It says on Wednesday, I was supposed to have seeded warm season transplants. That means everything. That means anything you can't stick a seed in the ground. That means tomatoes and peppers and all kinds of herbs, all kinds of stuff. So I'm behind on that. I've got to really get cracking this week and get a lot done. Anyway, yeah, I don't have a helper yet. I need one, and I've put out the word, but I called Jeff. Does anybody know who Jeff is? Yeah. Anybody besides Rebecca and Daryl? Barefoot Farmer is, his name is Jeff Poppin, and he lives up near Red Boiling Springs, which is really small town, not too far from Kentucky. And he had actually taken me around last October and showed me a farm that a friend of his was selling, and it was an incredible deal. It was like $180,000. Is it 180? I think it was 180. You got a livable house, brick ranch style home, dairy barn, concrete block dairy barn, plus another barn, plus 27 acres, which he had cows on. And I just felt like it was too far out of the way for me, and I didn't want to live up there. You have to want to live where the property is. And if I had a partner, I would not have hesitated. But anyway, Corinne, you don't harvest garlic until June or July. You just let it stay there. Yeah, Yvonne, I hope I do too. Mary, that's true. Right, exactly, Tony. So this wasn't close to a city. It wasn't close to a hospital, or I don't know if I'm that close to a hospital. I don't even know where the hospital is. I have a lot of research to do. Anyway, I called Jeff, and I also called my lawn guy, and I called the extension office, and got a name from him. So I put out some feelers, and Jeff got back to me, and Jeff actually does consultations, and I'd sort of forgotten about that. And this is a great time. He's a farmer. He's got, I think, the largest organic farm in the state of Tennessee, I think, with number of acres. He doesn't have them all plowed and in vegetables, but he is a biodynamic farmer. And I've always wanted to learn more about that. He also makes his own compost. Obviously, you have to do that with biodynamic farming. The compost is one of the most important aspects of biodynamic agriculture, which was started, by the way, by Rudolf Steiner, who also started the Waldorf schools. And my son went to the Waldorf school, so I learned about Rudolf Steiner when my son was in grade school. Anyway, Jeff came over and we took a thorough look around, and he was barefoot. And and he just came with a shovel and a notepad, one of those long, skinny shovels, because he wanted to just check out my soil in various places. And so he shoved that shovel in the beds over there, and he got down to the good dirt underneath the potting soil that they were growing the vegetables in. And he says, this is the good soil. This is loaded with minerals and clay and all of that. And then we went down and around, and he determined, and we haven't decided for sure because he went home to think about it, and he hasn't emailed me yet with his final thoughts. But what we are thinking of doing is we marked out 1,000 square feet in the lower front yard, and that is the flattest area, and it's actually got good soil. Don't know exactly how deep it goes, but it goes, a few inches deep. And we're going to plow it, turn it over, and I'm going to fence it off, and we are going to let it sit for the summer. And because we talked about various ways of killing the grass, I said, well, I've got all this cardboard that I'd saved from my move. That shop over there is half full of cardboard boxes. And I was planning on spreading that out and killing the grass with that. But he said, well, then it would be a year before I could use it. And so by plowing it, it can be much faster. So evidently I would be able to plant a fall garden in that. And so from now until then, it would be about getting the soil ready and getting the fence put up. And so that'll be like my main garden. Instead of these raised beds over here, which you've seen many times in my videos, the wooden beds they're not just slanted one way or two ways. They're kind of slanted like three ways. So to level them, I would really have to excavate, and I'm sure there's a lot of rock under there. And they had put down tarp, underneath the potting soil and all that. There's tarp, so all that has to come out. So all the wood would have to be rebuilt. I mean, it would be extensive. And so he suggested, because he propagates cherry trees, among others, I guess, he's going to bring me 2 cherry trees, and I've already ordered 2 plum trees, and 100 asparagus crowns, and all of this. And the general thinking is to put 1 tree in each one of those 5 raised beds, leave the 2 strawberry beds as they are for now, and put the trees in those 4 or 5 beds, depending on how many trees I ordered, and surrounding those with comfrey and herbs and anything else. They're small, so there's plenty of room around it to grow tomatoes or beans or squash or whatever I want to grow this year. And so the first thing I have to do is put a fence around it. So, and he told me where I should plant the fig tree that I'm hoping is still alive after that freeze. And he told me where to put the rhododendrons and the gardenia. And then, of course, it's basically a 5-year plan that he's kind of jotting down. He said, I've already got 5 years worth of plans here. So there's a lot of things going on. And right now I'm just going to be looking for fencing. And he wants me to go to the cedar mill. There's a cedar mill close to me, and get 4 by 4s and to do my cedar posts for my deer fencing. So also I have to figure out how to put a door in that fencing so that I can get in and get out. So there's a lot to figure out, but I'm pretty excited about the prospects. I have 108 people. If you just joined, thank you so much for joining this live stream. And I hope that you'll subscribe and find lots to enjoy. I have a ton of playlists. I really need to pare down my playlists, but I have a lot of playlists. So I'm sure you can find something of interest. Let's see. Denise is here. Right, that's true. Yeah, I follow her, Rebecca, but I for some reason, I mean, I see her tweets, but I don't really check it out, and I really need to. Let's see. Interesting. Well, I can still do that, J-Lou. I'm not sure what your name is, actually. Is it Lou? Well, right now, none of the grass is very green, and I have the really the bad grass, which I can never remember the name of. It's just, it goes in one ear and out the other. Is it bluegrass? It doesn't sound right. Anyway, he said if you plant the asparagus in it, it'll kill it. So I have to plant the asparagus. Hi, Tracy. I have to plant the asparagus in the raised beds and around. And he said, you know, for just a year, he said it's fine. I could move the asparagus later if I wanted to move it to a different location. We even talked to, is it Bermuda? The stuff that's dead now? I can never remember. Well, Daryl confirms it. So I guess it's Bermuda because he's been here. But yeah, it's all white right now. And we talked about various things to do out there. You know, he said if I let my grass grow up this high, if I let the fescue grow up this high, it'll kill the Bermuda grass. And I said, well, the only reason I don't want to let my grass grow up is because I don't want snakes coming up near the house. And he goes, but if you have snakes, then you won't have moles and voles. Good point. Good point. Well, I have fescue, but that's green right now. And the stuff I'm talking about, Rose, is white. You know, it's deadish. So I guess it's Bermuda. Ah, yeah, that must be true. Yeah, so I have so much work to do, and I have told him that I need help. And you know, if anybody can help me, he can, because he has connections with the big farm, you know, down the road. The farm manager and stuff. And in fact, after he left here, he said, I'm just going to drive down your road and see if I see anybody that has a tractor and just start talking to them and ask them if they'd come up and plow your little 1,000 square feet. And so I haven't heard from him yet, but hopefully that'll get going very, very soon. Jack, Daryl calls squirrels evil because they eat all of his good stuff before he gets to it. Oh, I know. I just can't stand the stuff, Rose. Yes, I had a live stream or a video talking about electric fencing, but the electric fencing, it won't really keep out animals low to the ground. I mean, you can put one wire down and then another wire up here and another wire, but it just, you know, it's not It's not solid. It's just like a wire, another wire, and another wire. And that wire has got to be 7 feet up in the air. And there is wireless deer fencing. And what it is, these are stakes. And I don't exactly know how they work, but you put these stakes out in the garden. They're only 4 feet tall. Somebody on my live stream recommended it. And the deer will not recognize it as a problem and brush up against it and not like the way it feels. And then they'll start leaving the area alone. And I've definitely considered that. But I've got deer marks on those little trees that they, the deer are eating the ends off of everything. So that's the absolute first thing I have to do is get the deer fencing. Hello, Swampy Acres Homestead. Well, I thought about T-posts, but they're just not as pretty. Exactly, rabbits. I haven't seen a rabbit here, and I haven't seen that many squirrels, knock on wood. But I'm sure they're here. They have to be. I have a forest right there. Hello, CJ. Doing well, Swamp. What is your name, Swampy Acres, and where's your homestead? I mean, if I was just going to do T-posts, I could have them delivered and install them myself. You saw me doing that in my friend's garden. Just everybody told me, just let the weight of that post driver drive it down and don't jerk, because you can really hurt your neck or your back. But I could do that if I had to. But I mean, there's no way I'm gonna drive post holes for 4x4s. That's not happening. I have to hire somebody to do that. So, Northeast Pennsylvania, huh? Well, Sarah has a question for you, Daryl. I don't think Daryl found the answer to that. I actually can see having to have put netting over the top of the whole thing. I foresee having to do that at some point. I mean, I don't know if you've seen OAG, that video that I did with Charles at Old Alabama Gardener. His blueberry enclosure is walk-in. He's got like a screen door and you walk in and it's all enclosed. And he must have, well, the bushes have to be 6-7 feet tall. And there's got to be 8 of them in there. I'm just remembering from like 3 years ago. So I'm not sure, 4 years ago. So, but I am envisioning that that's what I'm going to have to do because I'm not going to. Daryl, he says he just cries a lot. Okay, that's funny. Ooh, yes. Adriana plowed his backyard to level the ground. 100 square meters. That's 300 square feet. Okay. I had actually stopped to consider buying myself a tractor, but I think I'd get more use out of a pickup truck, and I still don't have that. So I'm going to focus on pickup truck. Pamela is in Nassau. Crop farmer, Nassau, Bahamas. You're a crop farmer in Nassau, Bahamas, Pamela? If so, thank you so much for joining. Howdy, Nate Vance. Where are you located? Do you have your own garden? Ah, I was in Jacksonville, Florida once. I think you have pretty nice weather down there. Ooh. Let's see. So, oh, brother, that's terrible, Cheryl. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I guess if you're, sort of living together, it's not such a big deal. But if you're separated, and I don't know, every place is different. Every situation is different. Oh no, Sharon, no peaches at all. I should ask. I should ask Jill Green at, oh, in Phoenix, what she does, because she has a peach orchard, and these trees are very mature and big, and she gets the most amazing peaches. And so I don't know what she does. I don't think she covers her trees. And I don't know why they cover the trees in California, but I remember, and I don't know, I guess it's after they bud and they've already been pollinated, maybe. They cover the trees with these huge canvases. It's so strange. You're driving up through there and it's acres and acres and acres of big mature citrus trees, and they're all covered with canvas. This is big canvas, covers the whole tree. And I go, well, if they can do it, I can do it. But I'm assuming you cover it after. If anybody knows, just chip in and let me know. Oh my goodness. Is it your farm, 380-acre farm? And I missed your name, Swampy Acres. What is your... I hope it's not swampy. I hope you don't have 380 swampy acres. Yeah, I didn't know if it was birds or if it was certain kind of insects. Pests. I didn't know. But I would think that the birds would just come in flocks and just descend upon that whole, all those acres and acres, and just eat everything and then go. Sort of like the locusts do, they come in a cloud. You can't even see the sky, and the locusts come in. They go down and they clean everything for acres, and then they... Well, I'm thinking about doing that, Jay Cree. Yes. Right. The raccoons love corn. When I was down in near San Diego, it was just a small garden, but he had a corn patch, and he had those big rubber snakes. I mean, they really looked real. They were big rubber snakes, and they were around the cornfield. There were like 2 or 3 of them around this one little patch, and I thought, hey, maybe getting some scary looking rubber snakes might keep the... I don't know if that would just probably keep the birds away. I don't know if it would keep the raccoons away. Oh my gosh. Oh my, there has to be a solution. I mean, when I went down to the co-op, if you recall, the man at the 114 people. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, everybody, can you just take a moment and hit that like button? I would really appreciate it. When I went down to the co-op and I was asking him about deer fencing, we were talking about the electric wire. He said he uses it, but he uses it for the coons, not for deer so much. Deer didn't really bother the corn that much, but the raccoons, they go to town. Holy cow, hogs in Florida? Are they like wild or something? Nate? He says he has a massive issue with hogs in Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Nate. Well, Sarah, what town do you live in? If you lived in Ashland, Kentucky, deer would be your greatest enemy. They roam the city. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you can do. If you're in the city, you can't start shooting raccoons, but right. I have so many deer here, and I don't know if I'm going to get over. It's not that I have a love affair, but they are beautiful. And I saw 5 of them out there. I shot a little video clip. I haven't had a chance to share that yet. West of Minneapolis. My son was an hour west of Minneapolis. He lived in Maple Grove. Do you know where that is, Sarah? And he worked for Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed, which was even a little farther west. Carl is here from Ireland. Wow, in the ground? Did you plant seeds in the ground, Carl? It seems way too early for that in Ireland. Yeah, I was up there in August. Well, let's see. The last time I was up there was August of 18. Daryl, I can't go with those odds. I'm going to have to build a big hoop house or something. Jacqueline says pollen in South Carolina is their snow. That's funny. Speaking of leeks, I seeded leeks and shallots on the 19th and nothing has come up. Nothing. A whole tray. And I'm going, what did I do wrong? I don't know. Well, a lot of people suggested that, Cheryl, suggested doing a feeding station for the deer, but just like with the birds, I mean, since I stopped feeding on the porch, I have many less birds. So if I start feeding deer somewhere, I'm going to have even more deer. So I don't want them even to be coming here. Remind me where you are, the I am of me. They are on the heat mat, Tracy. Remember when last time you said you put your carrots on the heat mat and they popped right? No, celery or carrots on the heat. I think it was celery you put on the heat mat and it popped right up. So I put, after you left that comment, that was a week ago, I put them both on the heat mat. Oh, good. Debbie, that's not very nice. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I want to feed a lot of butterflies. I just don't know where to start all those plants, Oh, I know. The garden will be fenced for sure. Well, Adrujani, the thing about a dog is you can't leave it out at night. And so that's when the deer come at dusk and they come before dawn or right at dawn. So your dog would still be in your house with you, until you wake up and let them go out. So, and then when you let them go out, everybody's pretty respectful here and they keep their dogs penned in a pen. So, if the dog can't chase down the deer, I don't know how much good it would do. And I have considered getting a dog. And no, my cat would not get along with a dog. Oh, Andrejani, my cat is doing very well, actually. For 16 and a half, she's doing extremely well. Once she's settled in here, and there wasn't all this change. Cats hate change. They just can't stand it. I mean, most cats. I have a friend who has a cat who's like, I mean, she gets out the carrier and he like run and jumps in like, yay, let's go. And then when they're in the car, he's like out of the pen, just kind of looking around going, yeah, we're going somewhere. You know? Ooh. I don't know, Sarah, I don't think, Daryl, I don't have coyotes here, do I? I haven't heard one. Oh, really? Huh? It's interesting. I might get a dog if I decide I'm never going anywhere again. I might get a dog. I might get a dog. Oh, see, Tess, that's so disheartening. You go to all this trouble to plant this seed and nurture it, and it's coming up and it's coming up, and you're watering it and you're careful and all that, and you plant it in the ground, comes up, and then yump, somebody takes a bite out of it. Yeah, cats just, yeah. Thank you so much, Jill. Daryl says, yes, we do. Oh, good to know. Okay. Well, I don't go out at night, so. And well, they may be, Cheryl. They may be. No, I'm not going to feed the deer, Sharon. That's not going to happen. Are you, Nate? You're talking about those water sprayer things? They spray water at what they sense and make a noise. I don't know. I didn't hear the beginning. Yeah, the deer sprayers. Yeah, I tried. Well, all mammals hate water to be sprayed at them all of a sudden, I've read. And I got the water sprayers for my tiny little garden in California. It's like I'm the only one that got wet, because every time I would step out, psh, spray me. And I'm just going, okay, well, how do I get over there to stop it from spraying me? And even setting it up, I was absolutely drenched. And then I thought, my front yard is only like this big, 20 feet or something. And if it sprays farther than 20 feet and it hits someone walking their dog down my sidewalk, they're going to be, what? And so I abandoned it. And even somebody gave me a whole bunch of them. And I got rid of them. I don't have them. I suppose it's possible I could do it again. I really hadn't thought of that here. I wonder if it would work. Huh. I might think about that. Let's see. Well, there goes my theory, Cheryl. Your dog is a mammal, so if he loves to spring, yeah, dogs are crazy that way, huh? Yeah. It would be better if you could plant something that was a perennial instead of hot peppers and garlic because they come and go, Really? How's that working out? Tony says they've reintroduced wolves back into the wild in Scotland. Hey, Steve, I miss you and Rosemary. So good to hear from you. Gil Landa, where are you writing from? Jill is in California, a place I thought I'd never leave, but I did. Do you call daffodils the same thing as buttercups or Daryl, what did you call them? Did you call them daffodils? See, when I grew up in Tennessee, we called them buttercups, but I know buttercups are actually a different plant. Uh, well, I've thought about the high tunnels, but I don't know. No, it's not going to work over here. It's on this weird slope. I don't even know how you would build it. Oh, Mary. Yeah, I know. It takes time to decide that. There's no rush. Hmm. Interesting. Now, if they could just do something about the sheep, right? That's such a mess, that sheep business in Wales and all of Britain, I guess. If you're asking me, Nate, I'm in Middle Tennessee, east of Nashville. Oh, thank you. Jack is my resident meteorologist. He's the one that's keeping me posted on the weather. He said I can expect the worst of it at 8:30 tonight. So it's 6 p.m. It's time for us to sign off. Teresa R. Oh, fantastic. Teresa R just bought 2 mugs. I'm assuming that means you sent me a donation, which is great because I just heard from Gabrielle that she finished 6 more. So if anybody's interested in a mug and you live in the US, what? PayPal is doing another. Oh, golly. Well, I was going to check it. All right, I'm going to have to look up my password later, but thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that, and I will be sure and get your information to Gabrielle to have those sent to you. Oh, thank you. Can you remind me your name? The I am of me, because it's hard for me to say. Oh, I bet he's spoiled if you raised him on goat's milk. My goodness. Yes, tornado. There's a tornado watch in effect, Nate, in the Nashville area. I'm on the edge of that. Daryl, were you aware of that? Oh, that's a thought. What about Monica? What about late bloomer homesteader? Well, I would have to say that only at least at the moment, there are probably more gardeners than there are homesteaders that watch my channel. I want everybody to feel included. Revital, I will do that. I will, thank you for saying that. I will post on the community page that I'm okay. Jacqueline is just now getting to the Barney. Yes, Barney Martin. Well, Nate, I think you're new to my channel and or at least new to commenting. And my car just came out of the, let's see, did I go somewhere yesterday? It was 10 days before my car came out of the garage. For 8 days, I couldn't get it out. And then it all melted very quickly one day, as you probably saw in one of my recent videos. Yeah. Where are you located, Jay Cree or Cry? In SoCal? Okay, Christina's signing off, and it's 6:04. I'm going to sign off too, everyone. I am going to work my way in. I'm going to be hiding behind my washer and dryer under the stairwell. at 8:30 with my ski helmet and a sleeping bag and some water. And gosh, maybe my cat. I hadn't thought of that. But I'm not gonna do that unless I actually get a warning on my phone. And, they send you this ear-piercing, notification if you need to take shelter, so oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Uh, so if you're anywhere in the Jacksonville area, make sure you check out Nate Vance. He's got a lawn and garden business as well as his own channel. Check it out. Everyone stay safe. God bless you. And thank you for sharing my channel and hitting that like button on your way out. And I look forward to seeing you Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mike, that's a very good question. I don't have a generator. I need to get one. My freezer food I saw on the CDC, not that I usually go there, but the CDC website said that your freezer food can, if you have blocks of ice in your freezer, which I did put, the food is safe in there for 48 hours. So hopefully the power would come back on within 48 hours. Otherwise, I'd probably be in trouble. Yes, Tracy, I was talking about Barney Martin. I knew him. We went to the same church in California, and I got to go up to upstate New York once and visit him and his wife, and our minister and wife were up there, and we spent the night, and I took a picture of him. It's in one of my files somewhere. I went to his memorial service. What is it, 10 p.m., Patricia? Oh, yeah, we're under a watch until 10 p.m. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Hit the like button, and I hope you saw my video today. Was working with a great guy, great bricklayer, and guess what? He and I have another big project coming up. We just got to get these water projects, get this track hoe in and out of here before we start doing that. So thank you so much, Patricia. Thanks so much, everybody. God bless you and stay safe.